from personality to rationality every day. To my mind, what he's referring to is that in the normal parlance of an organization, the barriers that get created.
Sure.
I think that is something we are consciously trying to see that they don't happen. So that is where I think the barrier that he's trying to break, the talk that he's talking about is the barrier that we want to break in terms of. I think when you say team, so a team I think by definition cannot have a hierarchy.
Yes.
So either we can call ourselves a hierarchy or we can call ourselves a team.
Yes.
So in team, different point in time, different people will take lead. They elect as leaders. And that is precisely what happens here.
Wow.
I think that is what we are trying to teach the chief. That's what I think our endeavor is.
If I say that, because my experience as an entrepreneur was very different.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
over a period of time, I've been working for so many years as an entrepreneur now. So, after having this team, when I said that my clarity is very high, it is because of this team my clarity is, very clear now. Because I never got people who could, who could do execution and thought process and things like that. And here I find that we are mix of people where we have some, I have some weaknesses. The weakness I have is his strength. And whatever the weaknesses he has is my strength. So now I am very clear. So now I am very clear, and within the organization I always tell people, this is the weakness I have. Even yesterday I was talking to Venkat late night, and he said, no, you don't have any weaknesses. I took it as a compliment, but then I knew in my heart that he is just consoling me. So the point is that one should be very clear where you are wrong. Then it is easy for you to make up. So most of the leaders, when we are now sitting as a leader, we are all sitting as a leader. So you can't expect us to have everything ingredient 100%. And that perfection word is not there with me in life. I always tell people perfection is God. We don't have to be perfectionist. The only thing is that how much improvement we can do. And improvement can only be done when you know this is wrong with you, within you. First is to accept that. So here I find that, the team we are sitting here with, we have a lot of energy, a lot of things are flowing in, transparency is very, very high. And then, how to take things forward is easy once we know what is not there in me and the other person has it. So, the two things is one, learn fast or tell him to help you.
In a way, has that been the greatest learning for all of you here?
Yes.
As in, the fact that complementing is the biggest strength which comes in from this team. Has it been like one of the strongest learnings for all of you compared to what it was?
I think I would, I am the new entrant in this team. I would completely agree that, everybody now, this is one team. As Mr. Goswami said, there is no single leader here. It is a situational leadership, and we all kind of follow the leader as it goes. And the other point that I think has been kind of stressed but did not come out that clearly was, this aspect of innovation, right? What do we call as an innovation? That's a big term, right?
Sure.
We are talking about this for innovation. Innovation is not something that you kind of dream up one thing one day and then kind of execute for the next 3 months and then do not innovate for the next 1 year. It doesn't work like that. Innovation means a culture that is ingrained into an organization, right? And if you were to ask me, if I were to pick one organization that I know of in the last 20 years which has this ingrained, Kunwer is one.
Wow.
And innovation is in everything we do. Everything, the way in which we talk. If you go down and then have a lunch in the Kunwer cafe, you will see an innovation there, and you will see the same amount of passion we do in the work that we do in our day-to-day life. So that's a big difference. You are giving an award for innovation for successes, right? And if you were to give an award for innovation for failure, okay, Kunwer will be the first one as well.
Wow.
Because we have.
There I know I can qualify it. I didn't use this innovation for failure, yeah.
So, we have
I know what I mean.
learning that sure, not that, where every one thing we have done has come out successful. But the failures are the ones, where, the leadership is very unstinted in its support to ensure that go and do it. It doesn't matter, the outcome is not important, but the fact that you are trying out something new is important. So that has been kind of, a mantra, if you will, in the organization. And if you actually look at this industry, right, 10 years back when this inverter started, right? If you were to copy somebody, right, we would have been a total failure. Right? There was no product, because the products that existed then were all very low quality products where, so you could not have kind of did a product comparison analysis saying that, 10 competitors have this, we'll come up with this feature and do better than them. Right? It would have been a failure. So you had to kind of do this one completely out of the box. You need to think how you want to visualize. You do not have any benchmarks that you can compare against, and that's where the innovation starts.
So now it's almost like a DNA for every single individual here.
Absolutely, yeah. So and the other thing that's also happening, as you can see, 10 years back, we were, if you were to call our India and China as a third world economy, right? We were the third world economy doing the product for the third world economy, right? We were selling our products here. There was no big deal there actually, right? Because as long as you know that you can do better than the rest in your local circle, you can be a winner. But now the paradigm is changing, right? Now you have to compete against, the first world economy, right? And that's where this new leadership, where now we are not competing ourselves with the competitor who is 500 kilometers away, but who is half the globe away. So, and that's where the innovation becomes all the more challenging, because you know that we can't do that. There are a lot of impossibles there, but that quality is saying that we can do it actually, right? And that's again one of our culture in our organization as well.
Another thing is that like to move ahead, you can either improve or you can change, right? But change brings with it such a huge fear of losing what you're comfortable with.
Right. I tell you, this is a very great. I'll speak for now and then. See, there are, when some of the products that we were selling, it was at its peak. Like we knew that we will just run on this product for the next 2 years. The company will survive. We have gone and then said that this product is going to be end of life now. We are now going, because that is where it's not improvement anymore. We know that there is a change that can be done. The products that we are working out now is completely different from whatever we have been doing now. In our, so that paradigm shift is right there actually. And that's the most difficult to do.
How do you do it? How do you combat a fear so huge as in moving out of the comfort zone?
Right.
And there's a point where the general person says, okay, I've done this, I can now.
Right.
Take a breath and then move on. But nobody's breathing here.
Right.
You're just moving.
Right.
So how are you combating that fear on a day-to-day basis? Or it's not there?
Good question, but I think my take on that is, it is it's the culture which is built into the organization. So the leadership does not, one of the things that I have seen is, many organizations suffer because of lack of decision making, right? The leaders kind of, do this analysis after analysis, but if you were to kind of go and make your call, right? You want to, kind of pass that on. Exactly, right. So now this organization, I know, Mr. Kunwer Sachdev, he feels happy if somebody makes the decision where, it doesn't come all the way up to him. And we have all been decision makers. Personally, I've been learning that I have not been, that good at it. But, you know that once you feel that you have made the decision, you are, responsible for that, right? And that percolates throughout the organization.
One question for the team in general is, Venkat brought up a very interesting point of the innovation, the failures in the innovation. Now, if a company has to be constantly be on the edge and be innovative, it's to keep everyone motivated enough and not look at their failures. And from each of your respective areas, what is it that one trigger that you guys feel is important to keep that motivation level and not make that person feel that failure is something bad? Because everywhere you go, the first thing is you cannot fail. Here we are listening to people failure is okay, and yet we have a set of brilliant people who are coming up with newer and newer products. If you go to an outside world and tell them that no, you guys are telling failure is okay and coming up with this, it's a paradox. How is this paradox being met?
Okay, so again, my take on this is, essentially, you kind of, our innovation, right, is not judged by success or failure. I think that's a key factor there. Okay, we all go and then innovate. There are some failures, there are some successes, right? All we try to do is try to learn from the failure and then mitigate it next time around, right?
So it's a learning journey for everyone.
Absolutely, actually. And I tell you, last night I was talking with Mr. Kunwer Sachdev. I forgot the time, it went on for a long time. And we were talking about anything and everything outside of the product we were doing. We were talking about new communication interfaces. We were talking about new usability analysis. We were talking about how do we kind of come up with this new innovative product which people haven't even thought in this industry, right? I think that's what makes the difference. The innovation is right there. You probably the camera shuts off. We'll still be continuing talking about this and see how we can. It's right there actually. I think that I know that that as an HR it's very important that the culture of the organization has to be built around it. Everything else can be there, but this is what going to keep what we call the Sukhamians together actually, right? And yeah.
Can you just, if possible, define the difference between innovation and an invention? How would you when you come up with a new product, it could be an invention too. I'm just asking. So how would that be an innovative product?
I thought I had a good punchline for this, but I'm not able to, go ahead.
No, I believe here, theoretically, surely we all understand, and invention is something which never existed before. And innovation could be in terms of technology, it could be in terms of application. Like for us, I think what Venkat just now was referring to, that when we were the peak in a particular segment, we thought of changing it. Obviously, it has a business rationale. It has a rationale in terms of giving more value to the customer. It has a rationale of being upfront and exploiting what we have configured for ourselves. But at the same time, we will call it as innovation, because if it has existed before somewhere else, then you can't possibly take credit of it as invention. But there are inventions here too. It's not that we have not done inventions here. The number of things that the company has, certain products which may not have come and seen the light of the day, but we have inventions here which have come out.
And innovation could probably be at a very mindset level, while invention is probably.
Precisely, I think what we are saying is it has to be a way of life. This is what we are trying to achieve. So it is not only restricted to product. It is not restricted only to a particular or factory.
I like your point of application.
True. Innovation is about application. If it remains only in the laboratory, then possibly it has a very limited purpose. Then it can be only in journals, or it's only for awards possibly. But I think what we are looking at is application. That is where the customer gets benefited. So that is the end result of any innovation should be the customer benefit. I think that we are pretty clear about. So the point I was making was that innovation is not only a factory. Innovation is not about product.
It's a way of life.
I think we are trying to do that.
I think what question he has said, we should answer that question one by one.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Yeah, I'll try to take a crack at it.
Yeah, you again put out the question to everybody. So that it's a very good question. So it provokes the thought process. It provokes the thought process. No. Last question was failure. I mean, let's say there, and you ask each and individual that question again. So that, otherwise we transgress the subject. The questions are very, very good actually. So I want that you should ask individually.
So to my mind,